Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Let's get into the Wednesday MLB action. All right, we'll run the board. We'll talk about yesterday and what we have coming down the line for the sports betting world, as we do have an exciting day tomorrow, as it is not only the MLB trade deadline, but also it's the first football game of the season. All right, we will have the Hall of Fame game. We'll talk about that. I will do a video tonight where we break down the Hall of Fame game. And I do want to kind of get out some early season previews, if you will. So as I start compiling my power rankings and looking into kind of where we're at, you do have a lot of moving lines. So a lot of that closing line value, some of the bets that I made for week one games, even win totals and stuff like that, futures awards, those lines have pretty much been moved by now, but there is still some value out there in the market. So we'll talk about that. I will kind of see what I'm going to do in that regard, but let's get into the MLB action. Okay, a quick recap from yesterday. We did have a slightly profitable day. I did share a 5-to-1 give or take the odds on that little 3-leg parlay I put together on the Discord. So if you guys aren't following me on Discord, make sure you do so. Also remember, my name will be read, okay, and there is a numerous amount of imposters that try to act like me. I will never message you, never ask you for anything. So please keep that in mind as you do navigate that platform. But that was one where we did take a little bit of a dumbed down Colson Montgomery hit run RBI, where we only took a half, as well as the Kansas City Royals and the Boston team total. So that one cashed at a nice clip, little over 5-to-1 with a boost that I did share. Also, the official plays of the channel, we'll recap those. That's where we cashed on the Padres team total. Colson Montgomery, 0 for 4 last night, but did get an RBI with that rollover in the bottom of the 9th. Okay, so that's where it was, plus 175. We shot for some higher value. Okay, that was only a half unit, so that did allow us to be profitable. Also, Tampa Bay, New York, that went over the total very early. Max Fried, he's had some horrid starts as of recent, kind of pounding the alarm. I think he's kind of given up that Cy Young candidacy race. Also, Kansas City money line was my favorite play of the day yesterday, and that one cashed with ease as the Royals won 9-6 against the reeling Atlanta Braves. Okay, so let's talk about today's card. Like I said, guys, if you're new to the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Please join us. We'll get into Outlier, and if you guys are not using Outlier, make sure you guys check it out. The link will be down below in the description for a 7-day free trial. This is what I use on a day-to-day basis. Saves me time, allows me to find the best numbers available, and yeah, so check it out if you do want to explore it with that 7-day free trial. I am affiliated with them, and a lot of users have made the switch and are using Outlier, so it's good to see those numbers come in. Okay, the first game on the card we are going to look into, the Blue Jays. What in the hell are they doing? Okay, this was one of the hotter teams, if not the hottest team in baseball, and we're getting the Baltimore Orioles hosting them, looking for a 4-game sweep. Okay, Blue Jays have dropped 4 in a row. We do see this number, minus 108. Minus 106 for the Blue Jays, as Jose Barrios is going against Dean Kramer. Okay, so there you have it. If the Blue Jays don't win today, it's kind of a little fishy line, a little low-hanging fruit. I'm going to stay away from it, okay? As much as I'd love to take the Blue Jays to win this game, it's a very cheap price. I'm not going to play it. I would lean Blue Jays, but basically one of my famous things that I do say and give you guys advice on how I go about my business is you don't always want to bet a team or bet against a streak, right? Just because the Blue Jays have lost 4 straight doesn't mean that they're going to win today, okay? That's just, you know, that's a age-old mantra. Don't bet against a streak to end, and the Orioles are playing some good ball. Kind of shocking what we saw happen with Charlie Morton as he pitched for the Orioles and then kind of jumped teams right after that start as he got a win. So a little awkward, but hey, it's a business, and I think these guys all handle themselves professionally. So lean Blue Jays, and also the over. If it was a 8.5 or a flat 9, I would play the over, but no play at 9.5. All right, next game, the one that we are going to talk about, Boston and Minnesota. Another game where we're looking at this, okay, I will share the Brian Bayo going against Zebby Matthews, and I do think this is one where Boston can score again. One of my plays that I did lean towards was the Boston team total. Yesterday, I think they had 6, maybe 7. I think they finished with 6, though. I still like it today, okay? The total set a little bit lower. Zebby Matthews, 2-2, 4.97 ERA. I think Boston can get to them, and not a bad price. Boston plus 112. That's where I would kind of lean, as the Minnesota Twins are kind of been a little rocky, as they've only won 4 of their last 10 games. Okay, so I do lean Boston, no official play. Next game on the board, Arizona and Detroit. We're going to play it, okay? I think Arizona is kind of waving that white flag. They are one of those teams that have a lot of players on the bubble who's going to be moving by tomorrow, and I think this could be a spot here with Ryan Nelson, although he has been successful. Okay, 6-2 on the year, 3.29 ERA. It's a very, very fishy number, but I do want to play it still. That's where we're going to take Chris Paddock for the Tigers. The Diamondbacks have a better pitching matchup, but as you've watched the Detroit Tigers really slug the baseball, that's kind of where I'm leaning on this, and the number has moved a little bit. So as long as it's under minus 140, I'm comfortable laying it. So Tigers minus 134, as they have won 3 straight. That will be what I'm playing. That will be my first official play. Next game, it will be another official play. This is where the Cubs take on the Milwaukee Brewers. For me, guys, I think this is going to the testament that the Cubs road record has been absolutely atrocious in division as well. And right now, the Cubbies plus 105 on the road. I am backing the Brewers. Okay, they've won 7 of their last 10. I know a lot of people are looking for a bounce back spot with the Cubs. Condolences to the Sandberg family and the Cubs community. A lot of people kind of were backing that narrative. I think I will once they come home back to Wrigley. The emotions and kind of hearing Craig Counsell talk about that a little bit, getting the players fired up. Wasn't enough to take care of business yesterday, and now as they do go against Freddie Peralta and Imananga, having a nice little pitcher duel here. I know that the handle is all shifted towards the Cubs. 45% of the bets are on the Cubs, albeit 65% of the money. So sharp little spot here for the Cubbies, but I think the Brewers stay hot. So let's take the Brewers here at a very short home price at minus 118. All right, Braves, Kansas City. This is another one, just simply a lean on Kansas City. They have a nice young pitcher, Zerpa, 3-1 on the year, 4.15 ERA, going against a pitcher for the Braves that, quite frankly, I don't think is going to be getting the job done, but almost made my card. I almost went right back to the Royals. The Braves have won 2 of their last 10, looking to fade them once again. So I think the Royals stay hot and cash this money line. Royals do not bat in the 9th is also very attractive, as you will get that a little bit closer, if not plus money. And that's kind of how I would go about the Royals and Braves matchup. Okay, Philly and White Sox next game, almost made my card. I almost wanted to take the Chicago White Sox because if you look at kind of what they've been doing, and this one will kind of come as a surprise to most, okay, but I'm going to pull up the White Sox and their past performances as you look at kind of what they've been doing. I know they lost 6-3 yesterday, okay, so it was one where the White Sox kind of did a little damage there in the bottom frame of the 9th, okay? Wasn't enough, but that was just kind of a lasting effort. But I do think this one keeps them staying alive because the White Sox before that, okay, they've scored at least, I think it's at least 5 runs, okay? I don't want to misspeak here, okay? They scored 4 against the Cubs, 6 against Philly, respectively, 1 against the Cubs, 12, 9, okay, and then 3, 8, 7, 10, 10, 6. They have been scoring a ton of runs, okay? So if you want to back the Cubs, the White Sox, the other Chicago team, over 3.5 runs, it's juiced up. I kind of like that a little bit as they take on the Phillies and Tawan Walker, who has not been that efficient as a starting pitcher here for the Phillies. So that's kind of how I would play this game. Okay, White Sox team total. Also, I do look for Colson Montgomery to bounce back today and get off of that 0-for-4 snide that he was on yesterday. Okay, Nationals and Astros, no play for me. Mackenzie Gore and Gusto. I think this is one where the Nats may have some players on the move. 44 and 63 on the season, and Gusto and the Astros hosting the Nationals, as they did win yesterday, but they dropped 5 straight before that. Okay, this is a no play for me. I do think that there is a viable option taking Houston on the run line if the Nationals kind of lay down and throw up a dud today. I could see that happening, but not enough to get me involved, so I will pass in that regard. Okay, Giants, Pittsburgh, another pass, as we do look in kind of a lopsided affair with Burrows going against Logan Webb. I do like the Giants, but at minus 205, there's only so many ways that you can bet it. One thing I will tell you, though, is it might be a little sneaky over 7.5, over 7 even, if you want to find that with some juice. The Giants have cashed out in 8 of their last 10. They've scored at least 8 runs. Pittsburgh has been hitting the baseball as well. Okay, so I would go the over 7 route with some juice if I was going to bet this in the Pittsburgh-San Francisco game, but no official play. All right, next one, Mets and Padres. This one will have a double dip here. I'm not sure, quite frankly, if I'm going to do this a half unit, or if I'm going to bet a full unit on each. Full disclosure, have not bet this one yet, but I do like the Mets here. Okay, after they've lost consecutive games to the Padres coming on a 4-0 run, leads me to the over. Okay, and that's my favorite bet in this game, because we were supposed to get Darvish yesterday. We get him today. I like Darvish in the fade category, and I think the Mets bats will come alive here, and I think that's kind of where we're going to lead this handicap into taking the Mets over a total at 8.5, which I think is a little bit too low. So we're going to take over 8.5 at -110. That's my favorite play in this game. But I also think Clay Holmes pitching. We do see the fade against Darvish. -115 for the Mets on the road. I do like that one as well. But I also think that a half unit play on the Mets run line is the best value that we can find in the market at a +143 price. So I probably will end up putting a half unit on that. That's kind of where I stack up. So for this game, we're probably going to do a half unit on the Mets run line at plus money, and also the over 8.5 with a full unit. That's kind of how I'm going to shape up and bet this game. Okay. So next one, Rockies and the Guardians. As we look at the Guardians, looking at a bullpen day today. And that's kind of where I would look into the direction of the over 8. Check the wind conditions there in Cleveland. Will play a role, okay? But I think the over 8 is the correct side. That's how I would play this game. Also, I do like the Guardians team total a little bit going against Kyle Freeland, and that's how I would approach the game there in Cleveland that we will have a little bit later on this evening, okay? Tampa Bay in New York. Zach Littell going against Warren. Another game where we could see an over, very likely. Okay, so over 9, over 8.5 with some juice. I don't want to get involved with the sides. I don't trust the Rays, as they've only won 3 of their last 10, and the judgeless New York Yankees always does give me some pause. So that's kind of where I'm going to stay away from the side. But I do think that this one, we could see some run expectation and some efficiency offensively, where it goes over the total of 9. Okay, Dodgers and Reds. We got another over in that spot. I believe yesterday. Actually, no, we didn't. It might have been, and I don't want to misspeak, so I will pull this up for my sanity, just so I make sure that I remember what I'm talking about. Okay, as we look at it, it was a 5-4 game, so I believe it was a push. Okay. It was a push, and that's kind of where you saw that total at 9. Today, we still get a total at 9.5, and it does a little bit I expect a little bit more runs, still with Ohtani pitching for the Dodgers. How much we're actually going to get from a inning standpoint kind of leads me to going over the total, especially in the Great American Launchpad, where the Reds, their bats have been alive as of late. But it's been kind of interesting to note that collectively between these two clubs, they have failed to score 10 runs in basically 7 of their last 10 games for the Dodgers and 9 of their last 10 for the Reds. So a little contrarian play, not enough of an edge to get involved. So we'll stay away, but I do lean over the total in this spot. Marlins and Cardinals. Okay, let's not kind of overlook the Marlins and the offense that they have been putting up. I think that as you talk about this game, Cal Quantrill and Miles Mikolas, another game where I do like the Marlins team total going over. If you want to find that, perfect. Otherwise, if Cal Quantrill wasn't pitching for the Marlins, I would back them at plus 125. So Marlins team total is something I do favor, and that's how I would approach that game. All right, next game on the card that we will have an official play in, Rangers and Angels, okay? After the Angels have taken 2 straight from the Rangers, I'm coming back on them, okay? I think that when we do get Nathan Eovaldi, 1.5 ERA, 8-3 on the season, going against Soriano. The Angels have been hitting the baseball, but so is the Rangers, okay? They are away from home. I think that does bode well for them. And at a short minus 130 price after they've lost 2 straight games, looking for them to avoid it and kind of get out of here with a win. So give me the Rangers money line minus 130 as my last official play, okay? And then the last game we're going to talk about, Seattle and the A's. We get Brian Wu going against Jeffrey Springs. You look at this game, minus 145 for the Mariners. hard not to back Brian Wu, but Seattle's been a little bit hot and cold, and you know, they win one game, lose one game. It's kind of a zigzag play in effect. So the Mariners here at -145, I think that's something where they will bounce back and get this job done. However, on the road, I'm not going to lay the -145 price, so this will be a pass as well. Okay, appreciate you guys all tuning in. If you haven't done so by now, please, these picks are completely free. Hit that like button. Please subscribe down below, and also feel free to leave me a comment. But let's try to keep it going. We'll look for another profitable day. The 5 picks I will give out: half unit on the Mets run line at +143. Mets over full unit, over 8.5. Also, we're going to play 3 money lines: Texas, Milwaukee, and Detroit. And that'll wrap up my 5-pack for the Wednesday action in the MLB. So appreciate it, guys. Let's go get it, cash some tickets, and we'll see you all in the next video. Cheers.